Dog Guides Walk in Port Perry this weekend. Dan Kearns, Scugog. The second annual Port Perry Walk for Dog Guides will be held this Sunday, May 26th. After a successful first year last year, organizers are looking to see more success this year. We blew our numbers last year. Our goal was $2,614 and 40 walkers, organizer Ivo Finati said at a council meeting in March. We ended up with $10,131 and 142 walkers. According to the Lions Foundation, this was the best ever first walk. This year, organizers have a fundraising goal of $15,000. Registration will begin in Palmer Park at 10 a.m., and the walk will start at 11 a.m. Dogs are welcome at the park, but people do not need to have a dog to participate. For more information, visit www.walkfordogguides.com.
Changes coming to GM Oshawa plant. Dan Kearns, The Standard, Durham. Hundreds of jobs at General Motors Canada's GM Oshawa plant will be saved because of a $170 million investment the company is making in the site to transition it from vehicle production to stamping, subassembly, and testing of autonomous and advanced technology vehicles. The transformation agreement was announced on Wednesday, May 8th, and is expected to save 300 jobs, with more jobs possibly added in the coming years. Stamping and subassembly, part of the property at the southern end of the plant, will be converted into a test track for autonomous vehicles. We are very happy to hear that GM Canada will continue to be a part of Durham's innovative tech cluster, with plans that include converting part of the Oshawa plant into a test track for autonomous and advanced technology vehicles. GM has made it clear they intend to grow and maintain the integrity of their operations in Durham region. These plans will further our ability to support an autonomous vehicle industry cluster in Durham region. Durham Regional Chair John Henry said in a statement released to the Standard, Durham is one of the fastest-growing municipalities in Canada, with a diverse and skilled labour force, affordable real estate, extensive transportation network, and world-renowned research facilities. We will continue to work with our partners in all levels of government, post-secondary institutions, and stakeholders to support residents during this transition. GM had announced in late November they were planning to close the plant at the end of 2019. However, because the facility will now remain open as a result of the transition deal, Jerry Dias, Unifor National President, is pleased. By maintaining a footprint in Oshawa and keeping the plant intact, we've saved hundreds of jobs, and this gives us the ability to build and create new jobs in the future. We are in a much better position than we were 5 months ago when the plant was closing, he said in a press release. Scugog Mayor Bobby Drew feels that this agreement is good for the entirety of Durham region.
Brock Farmer begins first growing season with prototype solar electric tractor. Evelyn Swan, Brock. An error message blinking on his solar electric tractor's dash panel means Tony Neal will be connecting its battery management system to his computer. Well, once the cord arrives from the Mendocino, California manufacturer, he will. I expected with a prototype that we'd be doing some of this, acknowledges the Brock Township vegetable grower. This is working through the kinks of being an early adopter of electric battery technology. The 30-horsepower Solectrac brand tractor rolled off a flatbed truck at his Sunderland area wheelbarrow farm last August. Tony is willing to farm with a prototype because he likes his blue tractor's benefits. Power for the battery comes from the solar panels on his land. The torque provided by the electric motor is instant and superior to the internal combustion engine, and the tractor doesn't produce engine noise or exhaust fumes. The user experience is amazing. Neal says the larger electric vehicle market will perfect the battery management system before the tractor manufacturers do. There's no stopping it now. They will outperform in every single manner, but they don't just yet. According to Solectrac, his tractor's advanced lithium battery will provide 4 to 8 hours of runtime, charged to 80% in 3 hours, and the electric motor is 95% efficient. For vegetable farming, 30 horsepower suits Neal. For larger farms, German tractor maker Fence E100 Vario puts out 68 horsepower and charges to 80% power in 40 minutes. John Deere's prototype SESAM, Sustainable Energy Supply for Agricultural Machinery, will be based on a JD6R and will provide 174 horsepower. Independence from fossil fuels is important to Tony, and he also prefers to avoid contact with banks. When it came time to finance the new tractor, he said he'd rather pay interest to friends and customers. 1- and 5-year bonds with a 4% rate of return were issued and, along with a Greenbelt Foundation grant, they provided the funds. 2019 will be Wheelbarrow Farm's first complete season with the new tractor on site, but Tony has lived at the Durham Road 13 location since 2008, when he made another alternative financing agreement, that time with his father, Ken. The elder Neil was looking for a house within commuting distance of Northern York region, and Tony, newly returned from an apprentice farming stint, was on the grip of farm fever. He wanted a farm. Ken caved in and bought 10 acres with a 10-year contract in place. Tony would pay rent, and Ken wouldn't sell the farm until 2018. For a young man studying history and political science and working in restaurants before he became interested in gardening, country life was a big shock. Despite the huge learning curve, he now grows produce without using synthetic fertilizer or black plastic mulch. Lots of labor, use of cover crops, and well-timed planting limits chemical pest control and water use on the farm. Full-time staff and farm apprentices grow vegetables, perennials, flowers, and fruit and nut trees. Longtime friends Debbie Kinoshita and Garrett Maxfield helped Tony buy the land from his father in 2018, bringing much-needed marketing and finance skills to the business, including a unique market buyers club that allows customers to prepay. As field manager, Tony is kept busy supervising staff, attending Toronto farmers markets, delivering weekly produce shares, and selling at the farm Friday through Sunday. Wheelbarrow Farm has 2 annual projects. They plant 100 trees and donate 1,000 pounds of produce to not-for-profit organizations and food banks. Tony uses sustainable agricultural methods but relates to his neighboring conventional farmers. There's no real divide between us. They see that I'm out in the field and I see that they're out in the fields. We talk about our different struggles, but we're both farmers. Perhaps, before too long, those neighbors will replace their diesel-powered tractors with quiet, solar-electric versions, making conversations easier to hear and making the divide even smaller.
High school sports racing towards championships. Marlo Stanfield, special to the Standard. The spring season for local high school sports is winding down, with several championships to be contested starting this week. The track and field teams from Uxbridge Secondary School and Port Perry High School both had strong showings at the Pine Ridge Invitational last week in Pickering, the final tune-up event before the LASA Championships this week in Oshawa. Uxbridge finished in 6th place as a team, with Port Perry close behind in 7th out of 24 teams competing at Pine Ridge. Several Uxbridge athletes had podium finishes, led by gold medal performances by Cole Jennings in the junior boys' 1,500-meter run and Raymond Luconian in the midget boys' javelin. Lily Tuck finished first for the Rebels in the senior girls' 800-meter run, with Dahlia Whitmarsh taking home a pair of golds in the junior girls' discus and javelin events. The LASA Championships are slated for Wednesday, May 22nd at Civic Stadium in Oshawa. The top performers will be moving on to compete at the Central Region Championships, scheduled for Wednesday, May 29th in Oshawa, with a chance to move on to the OFSA Provincial Championships in Guelph from June 6th to June 8th. On Thursday, May 23rd, top mountain bike riders from across the region will gather in the trail capital of Canada at Durham Forest in Uxbridge for the LASA Championships. The top performers will advance to the OFSA Championships, which will also be held at Durham Forest on June 7th.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.